Welcome to the Iconoblast podcast. This is the show that takes a look behind the public facades of famous icons to show you why you can never take anything at face value. My name is Matt Cooper, and sitting across from me is Joel R. Benner.
What's up? How's it going, everybody? You know, going good, sucking dick, whatever you're doing.
Yeah. Only crying when you masturbate?
Yep.
You
like your hat.
Like my new hat. I got this recommendation from Chapes, one of our very loyal listeners, who also is apparently sending us some homemade venison jerky.
Hell yeah.
Which I'm really excited to try because I haven't had that since I was a little kid. But yeah, I got it.
Yeah, for the audio listeners, it says, only cry when you masturbate. Right on Coop's forehead.
Iconoblast. We put the past on blast. Hit them with the truth with things you never knew. Nobody is safe, no thing to place. Got Joel and Coop with history in your face. Iconoblast.
Presented by Ghostbed.com. So today we're doing an episode that you wrote.
Yep.
Again.
My third one.
Your third one.
Is
my
it
third overall? Because, yeah, you did the Bolo Young episode.
Bolo Young.
Samuel Czar.
And
then now
it's a tri-pack. I was inspired from the last episode.
It's an anthology of stories surrounding Pearl Harbor. All of them are connected in some way to Pearl Harbor or the Pearl Harbor episode that we did, which was episode number 55, The Heroes of Pearl Harbor. Without further ado. So I'm just going to read it as you have it written here.
Yeah, whatever is written, it's for me, not Coop. Coop just has to read it because that's his fucking job.
How many racial slurs did you put in this?
Tons.
You're gonna try to pull a Ron Burgundy on me?
Mm-hmm.
On this episode, we will be covering 3 major tangents from episode number 55, Heroes of Pearl Harbor, to find out what we can learn from them. After all, this is in fact an educational podcast, and you came here to laugh and to learn.
That's right. Right?
A side note here, also just a reminder, the new director's cut of Rocky IV is out with 40 new minutes of footage.
That's right. That's right.
Glad you threw that in there.
Yep. It's important to know that. People out there that love Rocky or Stallone.
Which one? Rocky IV was...
That's with Drago.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we mentioned that.
Some consider that one the best one.
We mentioned that on episode 55.
That's why it's in there.
The topics we will be covering tonight are as follows. Ben Affleck, which he was in the Pearl Harbor movie.
In the Pearl Harbor movie.
Prostitutes of Pearl Harbor, which we also were talking about in the last episode.
Mm-hmm. What happened to the prostitutes were there?
Yeah,
if there was prostitutes there, or what? Like, I just said that as a joke, and then I found out some crazy shit about
it turns out there were prostitutes there, and they participated more than you would expect.
Yeah.
And finally, Rod Serling, the creator of The Twilight Zone.
Mm-hmm. Which was another tangent.
Another tangent.
Adam Hester.
Yeah, right at the end of the episode. Adam Hester from Skeleton Factory Podcast. Obviously, we know where you all want us to start, with the horrors. So this is, well, as I titled it, because I put in some titles.
You're the editor. You're welcome to have input in anything I write. I actually need it because you make everything better that I write.
I don't know about that.
There's a word. Maybe it's not better.
Different?
It doesn't feel complete until we work on it together. Kind of like the show.
I just add my little
spice.
Sprinkle of seasoning.
Yeah.
So this section is called...
The Koopy Spice.
The Horrors of Hotel Street.
The Horrors of Hotel Street. All right.
Prostitution has been around for as long as humans have understood the concept of trading valuable items for other valuable items. In this case, the valuable item being bartered for is some other person's mouth, pork rocket, ham wallet, or turd cutter. The earliest recorded case of prostitution comes from 2400 BCE when some sexy ladies went to work in a temple that was ran by Sumerian priests. Those priests sound more like pimps. I wonder if they walked around in like big fur coats, chains.
They just called it a temple. They called it a church or whatever they called it, but it was basically a brothel.
It was a brothel. The earliest records of prostitution in America came from the 18th century, where ladies would service the soldiers and officers during the American Revolution for just a little beer money on the side. Apparently, this became a problem due to all of the STDs that began ravaging the old-timey genitals of the U.S. soldiers. In the days before antibiotics, getting the clap could send you to an early grave.
Yeah.
You were supposed to die for your country, not for a cunt.
Ooh, nice touch.
Thank you. It was the 19th century when selling orgasms for cash really kicked off in America. Parlors, brothels, concert saloons, any place where you could eat, listen to music, or watch a fist fight, you could pay someone to touch your filthy penis. Oh, what a great time to be alive. If you were extremely poor, don't worry. They even had a place for you too. It was called a bawdy house, Bawdy.
Bowdy.
Probably.
Is that a spinoff of Body?
Well, I think
Or does that mean
bawdy
something
bawdy
else?
is or
Poorhouse?
bawdy is more like a wild kind of
Like a dive bar?
like rowdy. Yeah, it'd be like a
Or is
dive,
it like Bowdy
it'd be like a dive
Show me a
bar
bawdy.
with even more STDs floating around.
and horse?
Actually, maybe less STDs floating around. Well, no, not back in those days. That was before any widespread
Regulation.
usage of condoms or anything like that. But they didn't have AIDS. AIDS
As
didn't
far
come
as we
around
knew.
until the 80s. Well, actually, I just recently found out that this isn't a true story because my understanding was that the way that AIDS transmitted from a monkey to a human was somebody fucked a monkey, and then whoever fucked that monkey went and fucked some flight attendant, and that flight attendant went around and fucked some people and started spreading it all over the place. But apparently that's not actually a true
It's
story.
not factual.
Not factual. He used to be, I don't remember what his name is, but
But
he's
it was a monkey?
as far as I know, it came from monkeys.
Okay.
So somebody fucked a monkey at some point, and thanks to that, we've got AIDS all over the place.
AIDS just stands for autoimmune disorder,
It's
right?
autoimmune deficiency syndrome or something like that.
Yeah.
It starts
So-
off as HIV.
So
And
can't
then
there
it
be a
turns
lot?
into
There's like
AIDS.
lots of different AIDS.
There's feline AIDS, I know that much.
Like there's autoimmune disorders, right? That aren't HIV.
Yeah, there are a lot of autoimmune disorders. I
Yeah.
think
So a lot of
irritable
people
bowel
have
syndrome-
AIDS.
Well, no, it's like that. AIDS is a very specific reference. The other autoimmune disorders have different names for them. AIDS is just such a popular one that it's the
It took
autoimmune
over
disorder.
the term AIDS.
Or it might be autoimmune disease, something like that. I don't know. It's been so long since I looked into AIDS. It was after my first AIDS scare, and you know,
Yeah.
after the first one, the second one,
Like,
third one,
fuck
fourth one, you're like,
Who
I ain't even
cares?
scared anymore. I must be immune to it. I've never had AIDS.
You're immune to COVID,
Obviously.
that's for sure.
Apparently, I must be.
You're like literally the only person around here that hasn't gotten it.
Don't jinx it. Knock on wood.
I've been saying that for a while now. Knock on wood. Sorry.
So the Bawdy House was probably not great for live music, and the choices were limited to the whore with one tooth and the whore with two teeth, but you could still get some stinky on your dangler.
Mm-hmm.
Technically, at the time, prostitution was illegal, but no one really gave a shit. I'm sure the cops got some nice discounts to turn the other way.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, discount on $3, that's...
$3 was
Well, yeah, it was worth
$20
more money
back
back
then.
then. Discount on $20?
It was probably different than that. The discounts was probably like they just go there and get treated like a king, free drinks, food, music.
Sort of like during
They're just kind of there all the time and doing whatever they want.
brothels during, we learned this from Colton, our own personal ghost. Brothels during the reign of Caligula, it was illegal to purchase sex using a coin that had a picture of the emperor on it.
Yeah.
So they made those spintria, and the spintria were like Dave and Buster's tokens, or I kind of like to think of them as Chuck E. Cheese tokens. And there were 16 different iterations of these spintria, and if you were able to collect all 16, you just got to go on an all-day rampage at the brothel.
That's pretty cool.
They need to bring stuff like that back.
Yeah, they should.
Dave and Buster's needs to step up their game and get some fucking prostitutes there.
Yeah. I mean, not that I would ever have sex with a prostitute, ever. But I think that it should be legal.
Yeah, I never have before.
Yeah, me neither. Ever.
I don't know if that's something that, well, never say never, right?
I'm not saying that anyone should or shouldn't, but I think it should be legal.
I think it should be legal also. But I also think that most drugs should be legal. Pretty much everything should be legal and regulated. Tax the shit out of it. Bring a bunch of money in.
Yeah.
And also, it makes when you create a taboo, or when you make something illegal, you create a black market for it, and that just puts a bunch of money in the pockets of criminals, like
Increases crime.
like the cartels down in Mexico that are smuggling all this fentanyl. And well, I mean, fentanyl, fuck, nobody should have created that shit in the first place, but
Fentanyl.
weed, cocaine, heroin, you would save more lives by legalizing and regulating everything, and you would make more money than you do you create more crime by creating these lucrative illegal operations.
Hookers equal less crime.
Yep. And it would make it
Legal hookers.
it would make it safer for I believe they prefer the term sex worker.
Sex worker. Okay.
Sex worker.
Sex workers
But yeah, I
create
think
less
they
crime.
refer
And
to
just imagine all those dorks that can't.
imagine how much less violence there was.
Yeah.
If,
So many people are frustrated because they can't bang.
if all of these incels that are shooting up schools in Santa Barbara, if they could just
Introverts could just
hook
go
up with the
rub one out
prostitute,
on a pair of titties. Mm-hmm. Life would be better.
it would create world peace.
It would create world peace.
It would probably end world hunger too, because of all the new extra money
Because all that
coming in
pussy
from
getting eaten.
all the taxes coming in would could be used to go towards programs to feed the homeless. So if anybody is hearing any noise in the background, that is the Giggle Boys. And
Oh, yeah, we're dual recording at the same
they're
time.
in the next room over. So
They're
if
over
you
there
hear a bunch of
giggling.
laughing, that is encouragement to go check out the Giggle Boys podcast. 100 years later, the Pearl Harbor attack happened. There are countless stories of heroism of the pilots and cooks and nurses, but the unsung heroes of the battle were the whores of Hotel Street.
Yeah.
Just outside the Pearl Harbor military base was a road called Hotel Street. On this street were brothels, lots and lots of brothels. During the attack, some nearby civilian buildings and homes and street corners became targets of the Japanese fighter pilots, which really pissed off the ladies of Hotel Street. Considering the horrors these women saw on a daily basis, dismembered bodies and explosions were just another Sunday for them. The ladies rallied at the most popular corner spot and organized themselves into a very unique and very sexy relief force. Then they headed into battle.
Yeah.
Roughly 200 ladies of the night were on the front lines of the recovery of Pearl Harbor. In high heels and fishnets, these badass babes were helping and healing the thousands of wounded soldiers. Working alongside doctors and field medics, they donated blood. They turned their brothels into staging grounds for the wounded. The Hotel Street hotties assisted the nurses with undressing the soldiers and bathing them and feeding them. The ladies probably even gave out a few handies to help with the war effort. Rosie the Riveter ain't got nothing on Harriet the Harlot. And here's a quote from, I don't know if this is a real quote or a quote that you made up, but this comes from an anonymous bystander. Quote, "Their knack for compassion came in handy in trying to calm the many shaken servicemen." Handy, that's a reference to a little rub and tug, which also...
It's a smart guy. He knew what he was saying.
I don't understand why anybody would ever pay for a hand job. Like, I would pay somebody to not give me a hand job. A wounded soldier later recalled a moment where he felt himself being lifted off the ground. He was still concussed from an explosion and was having trouble focusing his eyes. A strong smell of fish wafted over him, which at first he attributed to the nearby harbor. As he regained his wits, he realized a prostitute named Big Betsy had slung him over her shoulder and was carrying him to safety.
Yeah.
The wounded man watched Big Betsy's breasts bounce as she ran, taking his mind off of his fear and pain. He felt a sense of peace wash over him. He admired her massive, heaving bravery. He adored her luscious, jiggling sense of duty to her country. He was in awe of her amazing, bouncing ability to run with a full-grown man on her back. He also liked her big old titties.
Just stretched over her shoulders, like how you see those when they carry sheep, you know, like his arms and legs are on each shoulder. He's just straddled around her neck, around the back, like a scarf.
So, you brought up Big Betsy when you were telling me about this episode before. What else do you know about it? That's
all we know.
That's all.
This is all that I was able to find. I've been reaching out to my contacts, but I haven't been able to find anything else yet.
You've got a lot of contacts in the brothels around here, which I didn't even know there were any. All joking aside, these women of Hotel Street, even though they had all joking aside, these women...
what happened to them falling in love?
Fuck, I was editing that part, and I forgot to add it back in.
What?
Okay,
It was the most important part of it. I don't remember it, but
tell the story.
But she carried him away, and then apparently they never came back.
Banged him for 3 days?
They were gone for 3 days, and when they came back, they were married. That's the short version.
And apparently the wounded soldier's pelvis was probably
Broken.
ground into powder by that point.
Yeah.
All joking aside, these women of Hotel Street, even though they had mostly been treated like pieces of meat, rose up for their men and women in service and fought for their country. Sadly, because of their naughty profession, they've never been recognized for their badassery. And here is a quote from pearlharbor.org. Even after reading many accounts of Pearl Harbor, chances are you've never heard of the women of Hotel Street. Their heroics go largely unsung and unrecognized. 75 years after the attack, they have yet to be honored for their service to the men most affected during the Pearl Harbor attack. Thanks to former Navy Seaman First Class Donald Stanton, who was aboard the USS Arizona, which being aboard the USS Arizona was a bad place to be during Pearl Harbor, who was aboard the USS Arizona and was one of the survivors from that ship to receive aid by the women of Hotel Street. Their memory can live on in his book, All the Gallant Men, an American sailor's first-hand account of Pearl Harbor, in which he takes pains to mention the brave women of Hotel Street.
Yeah.
That is goddamn honorable of them. They saw people in danger and people wounded, and they did everything that they could to help. There really should be more information about this, but the puritanical roots of America makes it difficult for stories like that to be told because they're considered they're considered like a lesser class.
They should have got medals.
Everyone else.
I don't know what medal, but some like act of valor type status of something. 'Cause they were pulling bodies out.
So whoever is in the live chat for this episode, I want you to type in the best names you can think of for a medal that you would give to a prostitute for heroism.
Yeah.
And if it's a play on words of an existing medal, even better. So this next section is a section that I'm not entirely excited about because it's about somebody that I don't much care for.
Yeah.
And that person that I don't much care for is Ben Affleck, and I fucking hate his dumbass back tattoo also.
That back tattoo is something. It's a giant, what is it, a giant phoenix or something?
A giant phoenix.
But a bad one. I wonder when he got that.
I hope that he got it when he was
Look up the back tattoo if you haven't already.
Yeah, Ben Affleck back tattoo. I can only imagine that he must have gotten it when he was in freshman, sophomore year of high school. Yeah. Because I cannot understand how an adult would be like, oh yeah, I want that on my back. Looks like a 2-year-old drew it.
Yeah. It's so crazy. It's so crazy that he has that. And shout out to Jesse Wiseman for showing us that.
For showing us the picture for the first time.
Yeah. What episode was that on? Was that on John McAfee? Probably.
That was either on the McAfee episode or the Lennon episode.
Yeah.
John Lennon.
Two other douchebags.
Not the commie Lennon. We haven't covered him yet. Also spelled differently. So now we're at the section about Ben Affleck.
Mm-hmm. Here we go. Good old Ben.
This 2-time Academy Award-winning fuckface's drinking started to become a problem when he was 15. He's been a drunk ever since, and I've never seen him act good. Act well, I think it'd be.
Act good.
He doesn't act good.
Act goodies.
You might have heard of him from his famous roles as the shittiest Batman, the shittiest Daredevil, and the shittiest actor in the movie Pearl Harbor. Also the shittiest part of Mallrats. Mm-hmm. The shittiest part of Good Will Hunting.
Mm-hmm. I would agree.
Let's see, what else? Probably the shittiest part of Argo, but I've never watched Argo. Argo's based on a true story. We should do an episode about that because that was...
I don't know what that is. I haven't seen it.
I think that...
I've seen Fargo. Is he in that?
Yeah, he's the guy that gets stuffed into the wood chipper.
Oh, good.
I wish. Argo is about... I want to say it's the Iranian hostage crisis. It was about a hostage crisis in the Middle East, which I know doesn't narrow it down because there's like a new one every fucking week. But there were Americans there this time, or maybe they were Canadian. Anyways, I think it was like some CIA operatives posed as a film crew.
Oh, shit.
And that was their cover to go in and rescue some people.
That's cool. Did it work?
As far as I know. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it did.
Tight.
Growing up as a rich kid with 2 parents in the industry, it was easy for him to get his parents to pay for him to go to college in Vermont for a girl. I delivered this wrong. I should have put more punctuation in this sentence. Growing up as a rich kid with 2 parents in the industry, it was easy for him to get his parents to pay for him to go to college in Vermont for a girl, not like it there, and drop out.
Yeah.
then have them pay for him to go to college in L.A. just to drop out again to pursue acting. It was a hard knock life for Ben.
Yeah, it sounds difficult. Quote unquote acting.
Luckily for the future Mr. Jennifer Lopez, his parents paid all of his bills his entire life until he met Matt Damon, who continued to pay his bills by writing a script called Good Will Hunting. Ben takes a writing credit alongside Damon, even though poor Matt did all the writing while Ben got hammered off a fancy wine his parents bought for him and yelled quote-unquote ideas of how to insert himself into the script. It's like that Family Guy clip that I showed you the other day.
Yeah.
Where it's just Matt, or it's
Can
Ben
we
Affleck.
play that clip? You think we'll get taken down?
Yeah, it's
Family
probably
Guy's a
safer
little
if we
too
don't.
far.
Just Google Ben Affleck, Matt Damon,
Family Guy.
Family
clip.
Guy. Yeah,
it's pretty
and
accurate.
It'll come up
From my research.
Well, yeah, the whole time he's just laying on the couch. But you know what he should have been laying on instead?
A ghost bed.
He should have been laying on a ghost bed. As always, the Iconoblast podcast is presented by ghostbed.com/Drinkin' Bros.
Yeah.
Ghostbed has been a loyal sponsor of the Drinkin' Bros for 5 years now, and everyone here in the studio is in love with their mattresses and pillows.
Yeah.
Ghostbed makes their high-quality mattresses right here in the good old USA, and each mattress comes with a 20-year warranty. You can try a Ghostbed mattress for 101 nights, and if you're not completely satisfied, you can return it, no questions asked.
That's true.
The adjustable base that you can buy from Ghostbed is also fucking awesome. I'm looking at one right now, which is just ridiculously comfortable. I think the sheets need to be washed at this point because they kind of smell like the unwashed.
There's actually a machine gun on the bed right now. Or is it gone now?
No,
it's gone.
there's
No, it's still there.
Yeah, there's still a gun case over there.
Yep.
The sheets on that bed smell like the unwashed asses of every single person who's ever been into the studio.
We've all slept on it.
Plus Jack Mandeville's dog Taco, which probably smells the least out of all of it. But it's not the mattress that smells. It's the shitty, cheap sheets that we have on there. Their mattresses and pillows have cooling technology to help keep you cool at night, which is especially helpful if you live in places like Texas or if you're like me and you have two oversized dogs that like to sleep in the bed with you. Argus has been sleeping, so now, since it's starting to cool down a little bit, he doesn't want to be on top of the blanket anymore, which is actually a relief because usually what he would do is he would lay down on the blanket and spread out, and then I would just have like a little corner in the blanket that I can barely pull over myself. I spend the majority of the night just kicking at him to try to get him out of the fucking way. But now he wants to sleep under the blankets, and he puts off body heat like a fucking heater.
Yeah.
So then I get all sweaty, and I pull the blanket down, then I get too cold, pull the blanket back up, and it's just a nightmare for the entire night.
That's my cycle when I'm by myself. Just I got body heat problems. I need a ghost bed.
Wasn't there a movie called Body Heat?
I think it's a porn.
That's what still a movie.
Yeah.
You can buy a mattress for around $35 per month, and they have no money down, 0% financing plans. Ghostbed also offers bundles so you can get everything you need in one convenient package. Just choose from their 4 mattresses and then pick your bundle. So whether you just need a mattress and a frame, or you want it all, like their cooling pillows and sheets, you can always get the best bang for your buck. And I really cannot recommend the adjustable base enough. It vibrates.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
It's great.
Right now, Ghostbed is offering a flash sale where you can get 40% off when you buy a mattress and adjustable base, or 30% off of everything when you use the promo code DrinkinBros. So head over to ghostbed.com/DrinkinBros to take advantage of all their awesome deals. That's ghostbed.com/DrinkinBros. Ghostbed. Sleep so good, it's scary.
It's scary.
And also, prices so low, they're scary. Our next sponsor for this episode is SimpliSafe, and we've said before that we helped Dakota, well, we didn't really help him. We filmed Dakota Meyer installing a SimpliSafe system at his house.
Which was surprising, right? Because he didn't need any help.
You would think so, but if it's a product that's endorsed by Medal of Honor recipient Dakota Meyer, I would say that it's safe to say it's a damn good product.
And it comes with crayons. That's what he liked about it the most.
I think that was something that they sent to him as like an incentive to like make a video
that was his
or something like that. Yeah,
he was like, yeah, I'll set this up if you send some crayons.
I cannot believe how fast he ate those fucking things. But I'm always impressed by Marines and the amount of crayons that they can eat. If you ever wanted to make your home feel safer, there is no better time than now. This week, our friends at SimpliSafe are giving Iconoblast listeners early access to all of their holiday deals. 40% off of their award-winning home security.
Fuck yeah.
We love SimpliSafe because it has everything you need to make your home safe. Indoor and outdoor cameras, comprehensive sensors, all monitored around the clock by trained professionals who send help the instant that you need it. If I was
40% off because of us? Iconoblast special?
Iconoblast listeners,
That's cool.
if I continued to live in the area that we're living in right now, and if I owned a home in the area that we were living in right now, there is no way in hell I would stay there without
without a security
SimpliSafe.
system.
There was
if you're going to get one, you should get one with the CPU and neural net processor.
They might have those. I'll have to confirm those with the people from SimpliSafe. There was that crazy homeless guy that was over there throwing rocks at all the doors in the apartment complex the other night.
Yeah, that fucking sucks.
Oh, and then he had
a front dreadlock, one front dreadlock that hung down in front of his face.
Oh, that's like
and he was blonde, so it was scarier.
He was a Misfit fan. Well, no, if he was a Misfit fan, he would have dyed his hair black.
He had a big sway the whole time.
It was
And
probably
just growling the whole time and then grabbing rocks and chucking them.
Probably all the drugs that he was on or the mental illness that he's suffering from. Because we saw him at 7-Eleven a couple days later, and he
Still there.
was still pretty much
slamming
the same.
fucking mayonnaise. Just slamming mayonnaise
just
packets.
eating
That's his dinner.
full mayonnaise packets.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel bad for him, but I'm also afraid of him, and that's why you need something like SimpliSafe if you live in an area like we do.
Yeah.
SimpliSafe was named Best Home Security System of 2021 by U.S. News and World Report. You can easily customize a system for your home online in minutes and even get free custom recommendations from SimpliSafe. These are SimpliSafe's biggest discounts of the year. You can get a complete home security system starting at just over $100.
That's crazy.
For a whole security system, that is...
And it's legit. It's a legit system.
How are they not losing money on it?
You have little sensors on every door. You can put sensors on the windows.
There's cameras that you stick
run off
up
a battery.
in the corner of a room. There's cameras that you can put outside, inside. It all connects to this one central base.
That you can talk to.
Yeah.
Which is cool. And the power goes out, it still runs.
Runs off a battery, so it'll keep going.
Yep.
There are no long-term contracts or commitments. It's a really easy way to start feeling a bit more peace of mind. Take advantage of SimpliSafe's holiday deals and get 40% off your new home security system by visiting simplisafe.com/icon. Again, that's simplisafe.com/ICON for 40% off your entire system.
40% off to protect yourself from the T1000.
Our last sponsor of the day is ShipStation.
All right.
And with we've got some...
Got our first design done.
We got some stuff in the works for Iconoblast merchandise, and you better believe that we're going to be using ShipStation to send that stuff out because there is no way in hell that we have time to deal with that ourselves.
Yep.
The holidays are the most wonderful time of the year, but if you're running an online store, you know they can also be the craziest time of year. You've got inventory to manage, orders to fill, and a growing list of stressed out customers checking in twice a day wondering whether those last-minute gifts will arrive. I've been ordering gifts online recently, just trying to get all that ready to go before Christmas comes around.
Yeah.
I haven't gotten you anything. Don't even bother asking.
I don't expect you to get me anything.
I don't expect to get you anything either. No, I will. But
you've never gotten me anything.
Yes, I have. I've gotten you more Christmas presents than you've gotten me.
Hell no.
Yes, I have.
You've never gotten me a Christmas present. You never wrapped it. It doesn't count unless it's wrapped.
I don't need to wrap it. All you're going to do is eat the fucking wrapping paper. I don't need more of a mess.
know I like
and then
eating
then you get constipated.
I like eating wrapping
And then
paper.
when the ribbon starts hanging out, it's
You
like
have to pull it
It's
out.
like it's like when a
That's
dog
my favorite
swallows
part
a
of
balloon.
Christmas.
That's the only reason that you want Christmas presents is you want to eat the ribbon off of the crapping paper.
So do you want to get me something I want, or you just want to get me a present because you feel like you have to?
Why don't I just get you a big long roll of ribbon? You swallow one end of it.
It's all about the pretend fantasy.
You swallow one end of it, let it pass through your system. When it comes out the other end, we can just pull like all 100 feet of ribbon just straight through.
Wait, what if we should make like a cassette tape with their bodies. So I eat
the ribbon goes through.
comes out my butt. You eat it. No.
I'm eating the ribbon first.
Well, it goes
for sure.
It's gonna keep going. So then when it comes out,
I am not going to be the second person in line in this human centipede.
but it keeps going. It's like a cassette tape. So when it comes out of your butt, then I eat it again.
No matter what you do, you're going to have some.
And then we just keep swallowing and pushing with our butts. and then there's just this cool rotation going on.
Okay, now I'm
Now this
intrigued,
is-
but we're going to have to talk about it after the
We're
episode.
gonna have to redo this ad because they're gonna cancel us after that. We'll see what happens.
Very safe chance of that. With ShipStation, the hassle of shipping out your holiday orders melts away, leaving you with happier customers and more freedom to run your business, or enjoy some much-needed time off. If you sell anything online, I don't need to tell you that shipping can be super frustrating. There are so many carriers and a ton of factors that go into figuring out the best rate for each order. And with more people shopping online every year, the added holiday stress doesn't help. ShipStation makes shipping the easy part of running your online store, so you can get back to doing what you're passionate about, growing your business.
Mm-hmm.
Or apparently eating ribbon, if you're Joel.
Dude, I wonder if you could actually do that. Someone's had to have done the human cassette tape.
A human cassette tape, I doubt. I'm sure that somebody has swallowed a long string of some sort and let it pass through their entire body.
And then pulled it out? And then
I
someone
don't
else
know.
swallows it?
There is no, they didn't do that part. There's
No
so
one's
many.
done that? Is that the first? Because remember, that's one of your theories. If you can think of it, there's a porn about it.
Rule 30. Oh, Rule 34 for sure. It's not going to be It's not going to be live action. But we probably shouldn't. We'll talk about that after the.
It's probably better to keep
ad's
this
over.
off the ad. Yeah.
Easily import orders from every sales channel, whether that's Amazon, eBay, Etsy, or your own website, which, spoiler alert, our website is going to be promoted here pretty soon.
Yep.
And
we're working on the website. And we're working on all that stuff. So
The website's good to go. We just got to get the merch up on there now.
Yeah.
And ShipStation lets you automate just about any shipping task, all from one easy-to-use dashboard. Changing your shipping solution can seem daunting, but with the holidays here, now is the time to think about making a change. ShipStation works with all major carriers, international and local, including FedEx, USPS, and UPS. And you can even get access to discounted rates that are usually reserved for Fortune 500 companies. So not only is shipping easy, you can actually save money. No wonder 98% of companies that use ShipStation for a year keep using it for as long as they're in business. It's that good.
Sick.
Make this holiday season a little brighter with ShipStation. Use our offer code ICON to get a 60-day free trial. Just enough time to handle the holiday rush.
60 days free.
Especially
Remember
now.
that. Remember that.
Just go to ShipStation.com, click on the microphone at the top, and enter code ICON. ShipStation. Make ship happen.
Yeah.
You know somewhere else there were ships?
Pearl Harbor.
In Pearl Harbor, and the fucking Japanese sank them. Drink.
Mhm. Drink. Shit. It's the first one of the episode, surprisingly.
Yeah, that is surprising. Especially considering you wrote this episode.
So you're telling me there's a chance that no one's ever done a human cassette tape?
I dare say I am 100% certain that nobody has ever done a human cassette tape.
That's a really good idea. We should try it. Or we'll get,
How
or
is
get
how is
someone
that
to
a
try
good
it.
idea? That's a terrible fucking idea.
Something that's never been done.
There's a lot of stuff that's never been done, and it's never
And
been done for
one
a
is a
good
human
reason.
cassette tape.
The things that haven't been done
A couple could
are
be that for
generally a
Halloween.
good reason. A human cassette tape? Dude, you were going to do so much damage to your fucking intestines, like your entire digestive tract if you've got
It's all connected.
like some
Well, you'd have to pick the right fabric
yeah,
or something.
your mouth is connected to your butthole. It's just a straight shot all the way through.
That's why I would go right through, and you can connect in so many ways with your partner.
So it's
a bonding thing.
It's something to help couples bond a little bit more, and probably get E. coli, I would assume.
Well, you're already eating each other's ass, right? So what's the difference?
Well, yeah, if you're a loving couple, you are.
Yeah.
So okay, so I'm.
So the big
Gotta be
risk,
honest,
the big risk is like what it might fuck up your intestinal tract, it might fuck up your colon or something like that.
There's no might about it. It's going to.
You think so?
I mean, I can't imagine it.
I mean, if you're
Not.
too old, if you're like really old and your body can't handle it.
No, I think that the average person. So you're not the average person. The average person's insides are fairly delicate.
But you're not pulling it through. You're just kind of letting it be, and you swallow a little bit more. You swallow a bit more. You poop
Well, no,
a
you
little
would-
out.
you would
and
have to-
Whenever you poop out a little more of the ribbon, the other person's like, "Oh, time to eat a little bit more," and you keep it even. Like you keep that cassette playing. You know.
What cassette would it be?
Limp Bizkit or something like that.
Yeah, most likely Limp
Yeah.
Bizkit.
Yeah,
Shitty
Chocolate
music.
Starfish.
Shitty music, but you love to consume it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think so. I cannot personally endorse anybody doing the human cassette tape, but if somebody does,
Yeah, Iconoblast does not condone
Iconoblast
Or
does
endorse.
not condone
doing a
eating
human cassette tape.
eating a length of string, twine, ribbon, anything like that, and then letting that pass all the way through your digestive tract, and then letting somebody else eat that. And wait, that would make like a figure 8 between the two.
Exactly.
It's an Ouroboros, snake eating its own tail.
Two snakes facing each other.
It's more like the infinity symbol, I guess.
Human infinity stone?
The human infinity. Well, no, it wouldn't be a human Ouroboros because a human
It's a
Ouroboros
cassette
would
tape,
be
dude. Let's stick with
would be more
cassette.
like a reverse 69.
Oh, the cassette doesn't crisscross, does it?
No.
Well,
Oh,
what-
okay,
If one
so-
person was standing on their head the whole time.
Okay,
then
so
it'd be
yeah,
more like a
that's
cassette
one
tape.
way it would work. You would have to have one person standing on their head the whole time, which I mean, for the number of days that it would take to get everything to kind of naturally pass through your system without some extra help, that's most likely going to fuck
Damage.
up your insides.
Yeah. You'd have to take it slow and hang out.
You'd have to be really dedicated to it.
Yeah.
But aside from that, I would say,
Don't do it. It's a bad idea.
yeah, don't do it. But so
A
if you,
cartoon of it would be cool.
but I mean, really, if you did want to make it a human cassette tape where you've just got a loop going through, I mean, cassette tapes don't even really work that way because it's like they wind up and
Well, the old ones did. The first audio recording devices that were kind of like cassette tapes. It was just one continual thing, and you would re-record over yourself
it's-
the whole time.
it's an old-fashioned cassette tape, the
Yeah.
old-fashioned human cassette tape. But what you would have to do if you don't want one person to constantly have blood rushing to their head from doing a handstand the entire time, one person would eat it, it would pass through the other end, and then
You
the
have
other
to put it
person
up
has
the
to stick it in
butt.
their butt, and that's going.
And then like,
Yeah, that's going against the
People can
flow of
do that.
traffic. Not all the way from their asshole.
well, what you'd have to do is you'd have to swallow like a little thing with like a little hook, and then
You're gonna
hook it-
swallow. No,
then you poop that out,
no.
and then you hook that onto the ribbon, and then you have to sit there and like slowly pull the ribbon through your body the wrong way.
So you're gonna be pulling a fish hook.
So that guy's gonna be fucked. Whoever does that is fucked. The other one might be okay.
No, both of them started off fucked. If they're
Yeah,
going
if
through
they're
this
gonna do
entire
this.
process.
Yeah, that's true.
But considering websites like efuck.com,
people will do this shit.
there are
Human
people
cassette
out
tape.
there that will do it. If anybody can find a video of a human cassette tape,
If it exists, fucking Chapes or Ruben has already linked it in the live chat right now.
yeah, most definitely. And if they haven't, then go ahead email us, iconoblastpodcast@gmail.com. Or
Yeah.
DM Joel on Instagram @JoelRBenner. I don't want to see that shit. I've said before, I already have enough horrible images in my head. I don't need any more added to it. So we were talking about Ben Affleck being a lazy piece of shit who just laid around on a couch stealing credit for all of Matt Damon's hard work. Mm-hmm. Which, by the way, Matt Damon has apparently just learned that you can't use the F slur for homosexuals.
Wait, did he get in trouble for that just now?
Well, I guess he had some interview where he was talking about like, oh, you know, I didn't even know that I couldn't do that until recently. I mean, the majority
Maybe
of
he's off the grid, dude. He was on Mars. Give him a break.
oh yeah, fuck, he was on Mars and then he was in futuristic Los Angeles. Or no, he was in futuristic Los Angeles and then he went to Mars.
And then he was on
got
that
stuck
ice
there for
planet.
a long fucking time on that ice planet for God knows how many years.
Yeah, frozen in diabetes juice or whatever it's called.
What?
Cryo state. Cryo freeze. Diabetes, cryo freezes. It's close.
Close enough. Okay, I can see where the mistake comes from. We here at the Iconoblast podcast are equally as proud of Ben Affleck for banging J-Lo as we are disappointed in J-Lo for banging Ben Affleck. We are proud of him for Armageddon, even though he didn't do anything except play himself, an annoying rich kid who takes everything for granted and then eventually gets Bruce Willis killed. little foreshadowing there. Bruce, you need to run and hide. He already killed his fucking career. Have the recent Bruce Willis movies been
Not very good.
no?
He'll make a comeback. Or he'll just retire.
I think he probably should have retired. He's kind of turning.
I always liked Bruce Willis.
He's
I
turning
don't
he's turning into a Nicolas Cage that never does any avant-garde films.
Yeah, that's true. That's
Which
a
is
good point. I thought you were going to
unfortunate.
say he's turning into a penis, like legitimately turning into a penis, like an old penis.
Oh, that too.
Yeah, he looks like a penis.
Ben grabbed a titty on live TV and got Me Too'd and apologized shortly before another woman came out saying he slapped her ass. I guess it could be worse. At the very least, he wasn't partying with Harvey Weinstein. Oh wait, no he was. Although denying he knew of Harvey's rapey fingers, Rose McGowan says otherwise, calling him a liar. That's Hollywood, baby, and it's fucking disgusting. Fuck Ben Affleck.
Yeah.
Our final topic of the show is Rod Serling, who is somebody that I've been watching since I was a little kid, and he was already dead by the time I was a little kid.
That's crazy. Yeah, he was born in what?
Like the 1920s?
He died at 50. Yeah.
It probably has something to do with the fact that he smoked like almost as much as John Wayne did. John Wayne was smoking like 10 packs a day. I think Rod Serling was probably at like 5 packs a day. John Wayne, I am absolutely amazed that John Wayne lived for as long as he did, because he was smoking like 10 packs of cigarettes a day. He would literally chain smoke all day, every single day, eat pounds and pounds and pounds of red meat.
Never ate a broccoli. Never had a vegetable.
No, broccolis are for those that are lighting the loafers. That's for them limp-wristed fellers.
We should do John Wayne.
Yeah, I've got a document with all of the John Wayne info on it somewhere, but I cannot figure which Gmail account I have it stored in. It's got to be floating around somewhere though.
It's in one of them.
But John Wayne, he was kind of a shithead. It depends.
Racist.
Yeah,
sexist,
definitely racist, definitely sexist.
Drunk.
Not as sexist as Ronald Reagan, though. Ronald Reagan, the old Gipper, he was
a wild man?
He was a real
Different time.
He was a real fucking asshole to ladies when he was an actor.
Different time. They're still pieces of shit, but
Oh yeah. I mean,
you have to judge them for the time period they're in.
Judging them
even in the time period they're in, if you go back to those, like the ways what was acceptable and what wasn't, they were still pieces of shit.
John Wayne, no, not by the era. Ronald Reagan, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, didn't John Wayne dodge the draft or something like that?
No, Ted Nugent did. I don't think John Wayne did.
Wayne
I gotta look at the info again.
Yeah.
So Rod Serling. On our last episode, Adam took us on a quick tangent of a story about Serling testing. Oh, this is going to be hard because I know that you put Sterling instead of Serling in here in a few points,
yeah,
so I'm
Serling.
gonna have to try and dodge that. On our last episode, Adam took us on a quick tangent of a story about Serling testing ejection seats for money because he was broke. Hard to imagine the host of Twilight Zone being launched into the sky in a chair for money, but he was.
Yeah.
The end. That's the end of this episode. No. Rod was known as the angry young man of Hollywood for always fighting with television executives. He eventually died at the age of 50 from a heart attack, probably after yelling in the face of some rich asshole that was trying to tell him what to do with his TV show. Some say he suffered from PTSD.
Mm-hmm.
He was a veteran of World War II, serving as a paratrooper. When he received orders sending him to California, he was pissed off.
Wait, just think about his show, how crazy it was for the time. It must have been
the
every
Twilight Zone
fucking episode where the producers and money guys were like, "What the fuck is this? What are you trying to make?"
It was pretty much the only show on the air in the 50s where you actually had to think about anything. Other than that, you have like fucking Leave It to Beaver and I Love Lucy. Like there's nothing to think about in those shows. There's nothing lower than just the surface level of everything that's going on.
Twilight Zone had like a purpose for each episode. Like he was trying to get you to think about something.
Yeah, pretty much every single episode was some form of social commentary.
Yeah. Which is pretty cool, I think. And it makes sense, like at that time, that they would just be ripping into him every episode.
Yeah, he was an old-fashioned chain-smoking philosopher.
Yeah.
With an amazing voice also.
Oh, yeah.
I loved the way that guy sounded.
He looks handsome, too. He's a handsome guy.
He was a handsome guy. Prematurely aged from, like I said, like 5 packs of cigarettes a day.
Yeah.
I can't really talk because I look like I'm somewhere between the age of 20 and 60 because I smoked so much when I was younger. So when he got sent to California, he knew this meant he would be fighting the Japanese instead of getting the chance to anally rape Hitler to death with his bayonet. For some reason, He really had a grudge against this Hitler guy.
Yeah, he wanted to fight the
Whoever
Germans.
that is.
He wanted to fight Hitler directly, and he just really wanted to kill some Nazis.
He
But then
should have.
He ended up fighting the Japanese.
He should have been a character in Inglourious Bastards.
Yeah.
He was part of the 511th Demolition Platoon, nicknamed the Death Squad for its high casualty rate among its members. This is not to be confused with the Suicide Squad, which has a high suicide rate among its audience.
Yeah.
Fucking hate that
Another movie Ben Affleck's in.
The
Isn't he Batman
Suicide
in that?
Squad?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, he does make a cameo as Batman.
Shitty Batman.
Serling saw a lot of crazy shit during the war, and this definitely influenced his writing. He said, quote, "I was bitter about everything and at loose ends when I got out of the service. I think I turned to writing to get it off my chest."
Yeah, he was writing while he was there, and he was like, nobody liked him, apparently, in his unit or just in the military in general. Like, he didn't fit in at all. He would go for, like, long walks at night, like, behind enemy lines where everyone's, like, bunkered down, staying quiet. He would just be, like, so weird and out of it that he would, like, go for these long walks by himself.
He's
and then
walking
get,
around,
like, lost.
walking around, smoking a cigarette, like trying to
something.
whistle his way through the Twilight Zone tune. Like, how should it go?
Something like that. Yeah.
When Rod met his future wife, Carol, it was only a matter of time before he wanted to pop the big question. Sadly, he didn't have the money to buy a ring. First, he asked his brother, Robert Serling, for a loan of $400, but Robert didn't have the money at the time. And you said that Robert Serling went on to be the technical director
Yeah, he was like a
of Twilight
technical
Zone?
director. I don't know on how many episodes, but,
Fucking nepotism.
but he was a part of that team at some point.
Broke and out of options, Rod really wanted to marry his super babe. Depressed, he sat on the curb of a dirty alley, thinking it was only a matter of time before he'd probably just kill himself, thinking it was only a matter of time until his love would find out he was a broke loser, thinking it was only a matter of time until she would move on to a real man that could afford a ring and treat her right. Suddenly, a gust of wind swept a page of a newspaper against his leg. He went to grab it and smash it into a ball and throw it, but something caught his eye. There was an ad in the newspaper. $1,000 for someone to test out a new ejection seat, which was fitted into a modified two-seat P-51 Mustang. High risk meant high reward.
Yeah, apparently they were all one-seaters, and then they started making like a two-seater version.
And I don't think
And they never even made it. They made them and produced them, but by the time they were done, the war was over.
And those are like the very first ejection seats, because I don't think the original P-51 even had a single person ejection. I don't think that there was really any warplane that was used during World War II that actually had an ejection seat. That was all.
I wish I remembered his name. But the guy, the ejection seat's named after the guy that invented it. And the first one he made, like they have footage of him testing it, and he went for it. He didn't even test it on the ground.
No, it's Wilson J. Ejection. That's why they call it the ejection seat.
Okay. Yeah, and dude, he didn't even like do a test run on the ground first. He just was like, we're doing this for real. Shot him, flew the plane himself, ejected himself out of the plane. And his first version of it, it didn't have like an auto parachute or any of that. So
Wait, Serling did this or the...
No, the original
the ejection
guy. But I
seat
just
guy.
thought it was cool. But he shot himself out, and back that first version that he made didn't have a parachute, didn't have any of that shit. So it just shot you out of the plane. And then while he was in free fall, had to unbuckle himself from it, put the fucking parachute on, and then pull the chute himself.
So the parachute isn't even on at that point. You have to get yourself out of the seat, grab your parachute, put it on.
And fire it off, all in free fall. And he did it all and then landed, and they were like, all right, we'll give you the money for this.
He fucking survived that?
Nailed it, too. Perfect. Dude, you could, when he gets shot out, you see him go like, kush, and there's no parachute, and like in the chair, he's just like all these flips, and like he fucked himself up probably. He was probably sore, but he nailed it. Unbuckled his suit, got his... Okay, maybe the parachute was somehow easy thrown on, but you're in a chair. Maybe
I would hope that you'd already be wearing it.
Maybe he was already wearing it, but
I hope so.
It looked like he wasn't. And I know for sure it was two separate things. Eject, you're in the chair, you have to unstrap yourself after you're away from the plane. Then once the chair is released from you, then you pull your chute. And he did all those steps, and there's a little shot of him actually landing. on the ground.
How does the human race still exist with all the insane shit that people have been doing over the years? What the fuck?
He probably saved a lot of lives with that invention, though. You know?
And, I mean, over the course of history, most definitely.
We should have those in cars.
That would kill a lot
Impact
of people.
imminent. You just get launched out.
Well, it
cars crash.
launches you like 30 feet in the air, and then you just fall back down to the ground. Now you don't have
we
to
have
worry
technology
about
now where someone will invent something where that works, you know?
I mean, you would need like...
You go into a foam ball or something instead of a parachute.
What, like Demolition Man.
That you shoot up, that goes, and you're inside an air bubble, and then that falls, and you like bounce a little.
Maybe something like that would work, but because ejection seats only work at a certain altitude because it takes a specific amount of time for the chute to open and everything like that. It's like the reason you can't parachute from any height.
Heights.
Like there's a minimum height.
Dude, I saw someone in real life eject themselves straight into the ground right in front of my eyes.
When did that happen?
There was that plane crash, big accident at the air show in California at the what's it called?
You were at that?
I was there. Yeah.
How did I not know this?
Yeah, I was there. I saw it. Sucked. I mean, it was fucking crazy. It was so close that like when the plane crashed, boom, fucking blew up. It like burned my face. Like it was so hot where I was like, oh shit, and everybody was running and I just was watching. I had just
it sounds like something you would
just
do.
took a shit in a porta potty too. It was great.
Oh god, that would be the worst part of the day for me.
But it was loud and I was so far away, like I must have been a football field away. Maybe more, and it was still so hot that it would like burn my skin. Like it felt super hot, you know? And I saw the plane like upside down, floating like this, and then I saw I just saw him eject, and the plane was upside down when he ejected, so he just like ejected towards the ground.
Probably not the best time to eject.
But he had lost control. It was like floating like a weird thing like this. Just, and I thought it was like a trick, right? And everyone was like, whoa, cool. And then he like ejected, and the plane crashed and exploded, and everyone was like, what the fuck?
It was a trick, but it's a trick you can only do once.
Yeah.
I can't remember if it was one of my uncles or one of my cousins that was in the Navy, and one of their first...
It was an A1 or A I forget the plane.
No, I can't remember. It's
A something.
It's been a while since I've read anything about that.
Something.
Yeah, A169, that must be what it is. I had an uncle or a cousin that was in the Navy, and one of their first jobs when they got on the ship, this must have been in the 60s or 70s, one of their first jobs when they got onto their ship, they were serving on an aircraft carrier, was somebody was inside of one of the jets cleaning it and accidentally set off the ejector seat and splattered themselves all over the inside of the canopy and the inside of the
Holy
cockpit.
Shit.
That was the very first job.
Killed themselves.
Oh, yeah, fucking tore them to pieces. Their first job when they got there was they had to go through and clean out all the body parts and blood.
Fuck.
Rod Serling, on the other hand, was ejected out of the Mustang, and unlike the previous men, Rod survived. With $1,000 in his pocket, he bought a ring for his sweetheart, and they were married on July 31st, 1948.
He did it.
And this is a quote from The Twilight Zone. "It isn't enough for a sole voice of reason to exist. In this time of uncertainty, we are so sure that villains lurk around every corner that we will create them ourselves if we can't find them. For a while, fear may keep us vigilant. It's also fear that tears us apart. A fear that sadly exists only too often outside the Twilight Zone."
Dude, when he when he launched himself up and shit, he landed in like a rose bush or some bush that was like all spiky and
Not
shit.
the kind of bush that I'd want to land in.
Yeah, and it
I
fucked him
prefer
all
a,
up. Like he had
1980s supermodel bush, personally.
but he had cuts and shit all over his face, and he went and got the ring, and then when he asked her to marry him, well, he asked her, and she said, "Well, what's wrong with your face? Why are you all?" Before she would answer, she asked, "What's wrong with your face?"
And he was like, "What's wrong with those saggy titties? Wear a fucking bra."
But he lied to her and said that he was in a bar brawl, and like got beat up a little.
That's so much less cool than being launched out of a fucking ejection seat.
Yeah, I think he thought that. I think he was embarrassed about doing that for money or something. He didn't want her to know.
I would be way more hesitant to tell a chick I'm dating that, oh, I got in a bar brawl. It's like, oh, you fucking drunk asshole.
Yeah, that's literally
But
what
it's like,
she
I
thought.
literally tested experimental military equipment just so I can buy
Get
you this
fucking
ring.
ring. Yeah.
That's way fucking cooler.
Yeah, but she said no first because she was like, "What are you?" Piece
Because
of
she,
shit?
yeah,
And then
she thought,
changed her mind
thought he was
later.
a drunk asshole.
Yeah, but he still got her.
Oh, Rod, I thought he was a good storyteller. He could have spun that ejection seat story into some sort of crazy political and social commentary that would have just made those panties drop.
He did. Him and his
The
brother.
second time around?
Well, one of the Twilight episodes. I don't know which one anymore. I should have wrote it down.
Twilight Zone. Twilight is something completely different.
Well, one of his episodes was based off of that whole experience. Him and his brother wrote it together or something.
Oh, really?
So there's some episode that was based off of that experience.
I don't know why, but you just reminded me that. So we've had this ongoing debate about mermaids for a long time. I just watched Splash for the first time from start to finish. I'm sure that I might have seen at least bits and pieces of it when I was a kid, if not the whole thing, but I didn't
never
remember
seen
it. I watched it for the
Splash is about a mermaid, right?
Splash it's got Tom Hanks, Daryl Hannah, Eugene Levy. I didn't really recognize any of the other people in the movie, but it is about a mermaid who gets legs when she dries off, but if she gets wet, her mermaid tail comes back, which is also
Did they explain why?
No.
Wait, so if any mermaid can just walk on land and they grow legs?
I don't fucking know. There's nothing in that goddamn movie that makes sense. I watched it when I was high with my lady the other night, and nothing in that fucking movie made sense from start to finish. So it starts off, Tom Hanks, when he's a little kid, falls in the water, and he's drowning, and this little girl mermaid swims up to him, and he's like trying to swim over to her, but he can't swim. His dad jumps in the water and rescues him. It jumps forward like 10 or 15 years, and then Tom Hanks is living in New York. He's running like a fucking produce company or some shit like that with his brother John Candy. John Candy's a fucking, he's a gem.
He died, right?
Yeah, died of a heart attack in 94, I think.
God bless him.
Yeah, he was good. Last movie he ever made was Wagons East, and that was I loved that movie.
I never saw that.
Which is also weird because I think Chris Farley's last movie was it Heroes Like Us? No, it was.
It's when he travels to California, right?
Yeah, they were competing with Lewis and Clark to reach the West Coast first.
The movie's weird.
So
I like it though.
Anyway, Daryl Hannah. So Tom Hanks breaks up with his wife, and his wife dumps him, or his wife or his girlfriend or something dumps him, and he decides to go to Cape Cod and go out to some island for some goddamn reason that I didn't understand. He falls out of this little motorboat, and the motorboat ends up hitting him in the head. He sinks underwater, and Daryl Hannah rescues him, but also fucking jacks his wallet at the same time because it fell out of his pocket. Oh yeah, Daryl Hannah.
She was a mermaid?
She looks great through the whole movie. I've never really liked her face, but banging body.
Okay.
So also way more titties than I was expecting.
Her titties?
Yeah. I was not expecting there to be that many booby shots.
She's a mermaid. They always have their titties out.
No, they're supposed to wear clamshells.
That's only until they're of age.
Oh, underage mermaids have to wear clamshells. Then as soon as they're over the age of 18, just let it all hang out.
That's right.
So Daryl Hannah gets Tom Hanks' wallet, looks at his ID, finds out that he lives in New York, swims up to New York, starts...
And then Tom gets her ham wallet later.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they trade wallets. So Daryl Hannah's walking through New York just butt naked. She can't speak English, and she also acts like she's either very, very far to one end of the autism spectrum or just fully mentally retarded. I mean, she's just absolutely amazed by everything, can't talk, walking around naked.
Differently disabled, Coop.
Differently disabled. Differently abled.
Differently abled?
She's differently abled in the movie. Throughout the entire fucking movie, she's differently abled.
Okay.
So she ends up tracking down Tom Hanks, and then as soon as she sees him, she just starts making out with him. Like I said, she can't talk at this point, but Tom Hanks starts making out with her, takes her home and fucks her, which to me, so he lives in New York.
Yeah.
He is around crazy people like 24 hours a fucking day, but this one crazy person, this one mentally disabled person is super hot. So he's like, oh, well, you know.
This one I like.
This one I like. So I'm just going to go ahead and take her home and take advantage of her.
Oh, fuck.
So it takes her home, and in this day and age, it would be considered rape. I still, watching the movie, I was like, dude,
It seemed creepy?
Dude, well, if you actually think about the concept itself, where she's
Well, you know she's a mermaid, so it's okay
well,
in the context
it's
of the
supposed
film,
to be,
but he doesn't know.
It's supposed to be, but it still doesn't seem okay because she can't talk. She's absolutely amazed by everything. She acts like she has a mental problem.
Yeah.
And he still just takes her home and
plows her
and takes her to Pound Town. So the next day she goes to Bloomingdale's and ends up using his credit card to buy a bunch of shit and then watches TV all day. Somehow that gets her to learn English. So when Tom Hanks goes and picks her up, she starts speaking to him. He's like,
in one day.
I thought you didn't know English. He's like, oh, I watched
TV.
I watched TV and I learned. Another red flag that he really should have fucking thought about. Oh, this chick just spent the entire previous day not saying a single word, just being all over me. And now she's saying that she learned how to speak English in a single day from watching TV. And she stole my fucking credit card and went and bought a shitload of clothes. No, he's totally okay with it because it's Daryl Hannah. Daryl Hannah back in the mid 80s when she was hot. So from there, they go on their third date. She only has 6 days for some reason that's not explained, has something to do with the full moon. She can walk on land, but only until the next full moon. She should have planned out her trip a little bit better. She could have had 30 days. She could have had more than 30 days. If it was until the next full moon, just wait until it's a fucking new moon. But she didn't do that. So she only has 6 days because obviously she's impulsive. She just swam to New York, walked into the city naked, and fucked some guy that she's seen twice in her entire life. So they go on their third date. And
they had a connection.
Oh, no,
Since they were kids, right? Because he fell in when he was a kid or something?
Yeah. But he thinks that seeing a mermaid was a hallucination. Or like he never mentions it until the end of the movie that he remembers that there was a mermaid there. Mm-hmm. Also, a guy that's in his 20s still being sexually attracted to some like 8-year-old girl he saw underwater. Also red flag. So it's a pedophile going after an autistic person. Match made in heaven, obviously.
I didn't mean a sexual connection. I just meant a connection of some kind that they don't understand.
Yeah, but obviously neither one of them understand it because it
doesn't. Well, none of it seems to make sense so far. So
no. The entire movie doesn't make any fucking sense.
I love how much this pissed you off.
Well, it's just so goddamn ridiculous. Like I was frustrated with the movie the entire time because it's like none of this shit makes any fucking sense. So they go on their third date. And Tom Hanks confesses his love to Daryl Hannah and then tries to get her to marry him. On the third date, red flags on both sides.
Yeah.
Should have seen that and just been like, okay, this is a little fucking crazy. Maybe we need to, at least slow things down a little bit. But no, yeah. Daryl Hannah does turn him down. And then he gets fucking pissed and starts laying into her about turning him down for marriage. Like he's all bitter and giving her the cold shoulder and shit while they're trying to have a good time ice skating. He sees this old married couple that's been going to the ice skating like pond or whatever they're at in New York for like 40 years. Pond? And he gets because it's this outdoor area.
A frozen pond?
I don't know. It's just some outdoor ice skating area.
Okay.
So he sees this old couple that's been married for 40 years and looks at them and gets all fucking bitter. Like, oh, this chick that I've known for 3 days isn't going to marry me and they've been together for 40 years. You know what? Fuck this chick that just showed up 3 goddamn days ago. Didn't speak English at first. Told me the next day that she does speak English and then we both fell in love on the third day.
And was naked when I met her.
Yeah, that was the red flag right there was her rejecting my marriage proposal. So she runs off and hides for the night. Oh, so something else.
This movie really affected you.
It's because it's fucking stupid. The second
night,
you
kind of liked it. You watched the whole thing.
Well, yeah, I watched the whole thing. I thought that at some point there was going to be some sort of fucking explanation for all this stupid shit going on, but there wasn't. The second night that they're together, Daryl Hannah sneaks out of bed and goes into the bathroom, fills up the tub with salt water, and then when she gets in the tub, her legs turn back into mermaid flippers.
Yeah.
Tom Hanks gets up to go check on her and he knocks on the door and she's freaked out because she doesn't want him to find out that she's a mermaid. So she's like climbing out of the tub trying to dry herself off and Tom Hanks hears this big like thud come from inside the bathroom. Mm-hmm. So he's like, open the door now or I'm going to break it down. Something's going on. So he breaks the door down.
Holy shit. That's kind of crazy.
Daryl Hannah's just laying on the ground looking up at the door with a towel wrapped all around her. Luckily, at that point, she dried off enough that her legs came back. But it's also this chick that locked herself in a bathroom and said, no, don't come in, everything's fine. He busts into the room and she's laying on the ground. That's a fucking drug addict.
That's weird.
So
shit.
she's a.
It would be kind of weird.
She's a
does he react?
partially retarded on the spectrum drug addict, and he's still just like, oh no, everything's fine because she's hot.
What did he do when he walked in?
He just
was like, oh,
no,
everything's fine.
it was like oh okay, sorry, I guess I was intruding.
I guess I broke a fucking door for no reason.
Yeah, well, because she was probably in there fucking overdosing. But luckily,
that's not what he was thinking, right? What was he?
He was
probably thinking.
That's what I'm
it
saying.
Doesn't make any sense what he was thinking.
That's what that's what he should have been thinking. Is this insane lady, who I went from thinking was just mentally disabled to understanding might be completely schizophrenic and addicted to drugs, is laying on the floor in my bathroom after she locked herself in there, and is just acting like absolutely nothing's wrong. But they're both acting like absolutely nothing's wrong. It's fucking ridiculous.
What was wrong?
She had mermaid flippers, which is like the most reasonable part of the entire fucking movie is that she's a mermaid. So after she runs off, when Tom gets pissed at her for rejecting his marriage proposal on the third fucking date, she takes off and Tom spends the entire night just like out crying in the rain, being a baby about it over this chick that he's known for 3 goddamn days. And then she comes back the next day, totally forgives him, and then everything's fine. They're back in love again. She's still acting. She's still acting like she's got brain damage of some sort because she's just absolutely amazed by she's amazed by lights and TVs, like walk signals. And she didn't have a name. That's another thing.
Oh no, she had a name.
Well, she had a name, but she can't say.
What was her name?
It was a high pitched squealing that was high enough to shatter glass.
And she made the sound.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tom. Once she learns English, Tom Hanks asks her, "Well, now that you understand English after watching TV in a fucking Bloomingdale's for 8 hours today, tell me what's your name." And she's like, "Oh, I can't pronounce it in English." She's like, "Well, say it in your language." And she just makes this high pitched squealing noise,
like a dolphin sound,
like a dolphin, and it shatters all the TVs around him. And he's like, "Oh,
cool name.
Okay." Again, totally fucking. I mean, he's a little weirded out, but still just keeps going with it.
I was like, okay.
And then later, they're looking at street signs. He's trying to help her come up with an English name, and they're looking at street signs. They see Madison Avenue, and she's like, "Oh, I like the name Madison."
He doesn't ask her where she's from or anything like that. Like,
he does, but she keeps.
Like, I can't talk about it.
Another thing, she's constantly hiding her past. Like, "Oh no, I can't tell you." "Oh, okay, that's fine. Let's just keep fucking, and I'm going to marry you."
I could see that.
The keep fucking part, maybe, but the I'm going to marry you part, that's a bit much.
Yeah, I don't know about that part. Weird.
So he takes the newly named Madison to go to a fucking presidential dinner for some fucking reason that he had tickets to. Another thing that doesn't make any sense. Oh yeah, because obviously there's people that own produce warehouses that regularly go to presidential dinners that cost thousands of dollars per plate. They go and they see the president. This whole time, Eugene Levy's following him around, trying to throw buckets of water on her.
Who's that?
He's a dad from American Pie.
Oh, he's a sweet dude.
Yeah. Eugene Levy's fucking awesome.
Okay.
But he's trying. I mean, all of the main actors are awesome. Daryl Hannah, Tom Hanks, Eugene Levy, like those three. John Candy. They're all fucking awesome.
And they made this weird fucking.
The movie is fucking ridiculous though. So Eugene Levy's constantly trying to throw buckets of water on Daryl Hannah to prove that she's a mermaid because he knows that if she gets wet, she's going to turn back into a mermaid.
How does he know that?
That's another thing. It was just
Does he know about mermaids?
He saw Daryl Hannah underwater once, and then saw her like in the newspaper or some shit when people were taking pictures of her when she was walking around the city naked. Saw her there and like, oh,
I was like, that's the mermaid.
That chick that looks like the mermaid that I saw must be the mermaid who grows legs when she walks on land. So I'm going to track her down and throw a bucket of water on her. Somehow tracks her down like the same fucking day.
How would he know that would do that?
How does anything in this movie make any goddamn sense?
Is he still alive?
Yeah. Eugene Levy's still around.
We should call him.
He
might have some evidence for us on this mermaid fucking adventure we've been on since fucking episode 3.
I would like to ask him well, I know what he was thinking when he took the role. He was young and it was a movie with other big up and coming actors, so it was a good career move for him. Yeah. But the movie doesn't make any fucking sense. So Eugene Levy tracks down Tom Hanks and Daryl Hannah to this presidential dinner and tries to sneak in with this huge container of water on his back, like one of those pressurized like pesticide sprayers where it's filled with water. Mm-hmm. And he ends up getting tackled by the Secret Service and dragged outside because it looks like he's carrying around a bomb. And Daryl Hannah and Tom Hanks go out front, and somehow in front of this super fancy like restaurant or convention center or wherever the fuck they were, there's just this random garden hose laying on the ground with one of those spray nozzles on it. So while the Secret Service is trying to wrestle him into a car, he picks up the hose, sprays down Daryl Hannah, and she falls down. It goes into this really weird part where like the cinematography gets all trippy, and it goes between like slow motion and normal speed and all these weird angles.
Trying to hide the transformation.
Yeah, and it cuts back to Daryl Hannah, and she's laying on the ground with her mermaid flippers back. And then everybody starts swarming her. And Tom Hanks, who just the day before confessed his love and said that it asked her to marry him, just stands there and looks at her the entire time that she's literally screaming for help, saying, "Please help me, help me." And he just sits there looking at her like she betrayed him somehow by not saying like, "Hey, I'm a fucking mythical creature." Which obviously she could, at that point, it should have been understood that she could tell him, "I'm Jesus Christ," and be like, "Oh yeah, baby, I know, I fucking love you."
He didn't care.
No, he didn't care about anything because his character is literally fucking insane. And fucking an insane person. Yeah, he was like, I think he must have been mid-20s at that point. I think it came out in like 85.
Was that before Big or after?
It must have been before.
Okay.
So Daryl Hannah gets picked up by the Secret Service and thrown into the back of a car and driven away in front of all these people. Like just a blatant like political kidnapping in front of everyone. And Tom Hanks is just sitting there like, "Oh man, my girlfriend lied to me." When she's getting fucking kidnapped by the goddamn FBI and Secret Service.
She was a mermaid.
Then eventually Eugene Levy has a change of heart and helps Tom Hanks and John Candy break into the facility that she's being held in because she's dying from all the...
John Candy goes too?
Yeah. John Candy's probably the best part of the whole movie.
Cool. What is he, the best friend or something?
No, he's Tom Hanks' brother.
Oh,
because, you know, they look
identical.
They look really similar. He's his older brother. So they bust into this fucking government facility and kidnap Madison, Daryl Hannah, get her out of there. They have this...
Her name's Madison.
Yeah, after Madison Avenue. They have this like chase sequence where there's like literally truckloads of army guys chasing them through New York.
The hell?
And they get out to, I think it's probably like the edge of the Hudson River or something like that. And Madison's just getting ready to jump in the water and turn back into a mermaid. And she's like, "Come with me." He's like, I can't swim. She's like, "No, remember when you were a little kid and you were in the water and you were with me and you were safe? I can keep you safe."
Okay.
And he's like, "Okay, well, I'll do it. And it'll be cool because, you know, I'll spend most of my time with you and then I'll come back on the holidays and visit my brother." She says, once you go, you can't come back. I took that as her saying, if you come with me, I'm going to use my mermaid magic to turn you into a mermaid and you're never going to be able to go back on land, because apparently only one mermaid has ever gotten this 6-day time period to go on land because none of the fucking rules about any of this shit make sense.
None of it makes sense, yeah.
So he's like, "Oh, I don't want to abandon my brother. You go ahead and go, and I'll miss you. We'll be in love forever." All that fucking bullshit after they've known each other for 6 goddamn days. Mm-hmm. So Daryl Hannah, the Madison character, she jumps into the water and starts swimming off. This helicopter swoops in with like scuba guys on it that are going to jump in the water and recapture her. So Tom Hanks, who once again can't swim, decides, "Oh, what I'm going to do is I'm going to jump in and I'm going to jump in the water and go fight these fucking Navy SEALs to save my girlfriend." So he jumps in and pretty much immediately starts drowning. Daryl Hannah comes back, rescues Tom Hanks. There's like this little struggle with the Navy SEALs guys who go down like bitches. Which, I mean, if anybody's going to be able to fight underwater, it's going to be the fucking SEALs. And then Daryl Hannah just...
the mermaid, dude.
Well, I mean, the mermaid did pretty good.
Or does Tom Hanks fight him?
I mean, he like bites the inside of some guy's thigh.
What?
Which was weird, and like rips out some guy's regulator so he can't breathe. Daryl Hannah...
Why was he down between the dude's legs?
Because the movie doesn't make sense and because it's sexy.
And he did a little bite.
The whole movie is just all about being sexy without making any sense and trying to be funny, which it wasn't very funny that often.
That sounds like real life.
Well, yeah. Yeah, actually it does. Whole lot of biting between the legs, at least in my life. Mm-hmm. So Daryl Hannah grabs onto Tom Hanks's hand, and they both swim off super fast and escape. And then it just goes to this fucking montage of Daryl Hannah and Tom Hanks swimming around underwater, where Daryl Hannah is a topless mermaid. Tom Hanks is in a fucking business suit, and they're just cruising around like everything's cool. And that's how the movie ends. It's just this montage of them swimming around underwater, where apparently Tom Hanks can breathe underwater now. He still has his fucking legs. He's still wearing a business suit. That's how they're going to spend the rest of their lives together. Nothing but blowjobs and half-hearted titty fucking because she's fairly flat. And because I mean, if either turn him into a mermaid, and then it's going to go to the way that like salmon have sex, where she's going to lay some eggs and he's going to come over and blow a load on them.
Does she have scales?
Yeah.
She's one of the mermaids that have scales.
Yeah.
She didn't have a dolphin bottom.
No, not a dolphin bottom. She's got a scaly bottom, and you see it from the front and the back. There's no opening whatsoever. There's
not even a cloaca.
No, there's no cloaca. There's no dolphin vagina.
It's like a snake. You can't even see it.
Well, then she has it hidden really, really well, because I was looking for it.
How does she poop then? Out of her mouth?
I don't think she does.
I think she gets pregnant from her mouth and she poops out of her mouth.
Oh, so she probably has her primary pleasure center in her throat, just like the main character from Deep Throat also.
Dude, it's an advanced cloaca. It does everything.
A highly advanced cloaca.
It doesn't just pee and poo. It pees and poos and is a sexual organ, and you eat from it.
And you talk from it, and you breathe from it. Mm-hmm. It's like a
super cloaca.
Turtle's cloacal breathing on steroids.
Oh, yeah, was that the turtle can breathe? A turtle can breathe from their butthole?
From its cloaca.
From its cloaca.
Cloacal breathing.
That's a real thing. So technically, it's not far-fetched in the world of this film that she does everything from her mouth.
Everything in that film isn't far-fetched by the rules of the universe itself, because nothing makes any fucking sense.
Okay.
It was one of the most ridiculous movies I've ever seen in my life.
It really is.
It was fun watching it, though.
So, could it be a good drinking game? Like, could you turn this, whenever it's bullshit, you drink? Or, like, there's got to be a drinking game mixed in with this to make this... Because now I want to watch it. And I'm sure that you sort of, spoiler alert, told the entire film, but I still want to watch it.
Probably should have done some spoiler alerts ahead of that. But, I still recommend that everybody go and watch it just so they can be like, what the fuck is this?
So anytime you see her titties, drink, anytime she's a mermaid, drink, anytime she's a human, drink, or anytime something stupid happens, drink. What's the drinking game?
Anytime you see a relationship red flag, drink.
There it is.
You will be
it's a red flag game.
You will be hammered halfway through the movie.
We all ignore red flags.
I think it's human nature too when you're in love, and if the person that you're with looks like Daryl Hannah.
Yep.
Daryl Hannah in mid-1980s.
It's the human nature to want to procreate. So you ignore the red flags.
It is in your nature to destroy yourselves.
It's in your nature to destroy yourselves.
But speaking of...
destroying ourselves.
Speaking of destroying ourselves, I got to go destroy a bathroom real quick, and then I have some dinner reservations to get to. Right. So that has been it for this episode of the Iconoblast podcast. Join us again next week when we do who knows what topic. I think it might be Elvis Presley, might be Gandhi.
Cool.
Maybe another random topic that pops in my head. I know that we're going to have a Christmas episode coming up pretty soon, which should be pretty fun. We're going to do a little brief overview of how Christmas is celebrated all over the world, talk about like some of the history of St. Nicholas, which St. Nicholas is the patron saint of prostitutes. Oh, Santa Claus is the patron saint of prostitutes.
God bless him.
And besides that, we're also going to be reading some Christmas stories at some point, so that should be interesting. We'll do a little read-through, a little bedtime story episode of the night before Christmas.
That'd be cool.
Maybe even it's just like a short little bonus episode that we put out somewhere.
Yeah, 20 minutes, 30 minutes.
Yeah, it'll be fun either way. So we will see you all next week. That's it for this episode of the Iconoblast podcast. My name is Matt Cooper.
I'm Joel Benner. Follow us on Instagram at Iconoblast. Follow Coop at Coop Nukem and me at Joel R. Benner. Also, go on iTunes and write a fucking comment and shit.
Yeah.
Leave a 5-star review.
And keep an eye out for the official launch of our website with merchandise.
Yeah. Not yet. Probably be Maybe not before Christmas. Probably be after Christmas.
At this point, yeah, it's going to be early next year.
We don't want to just drop one shirt. We want to have like fucking
Yeah.
a few options for you when we launch.
Anyway, I'm Matt Cooper. That's Joel Benner, and we are reminding you to never take anything at face value.
Hasta la squeegee.